Hello, everybody, and welcome to our brand new YouTube station. And today we are interviewing Miss Jan Iiams from Betallic. And a lot of people may know her, but may not really know her and know her background and how she got started in balloons and how she ended up at Betallic and all that good stuff. So we wanted to share with you, Jan, and also afterwards, we're super excited to have her come to the Bling Bling Jam. And we'll talk about that, what she'll be teaching and why she thinks you should come. Which, oh, I love that. That's awesome. Amazing. Amazing. So, Jan, why don't you take it away? Let everybody know who you are, where you're from, how you got started in balloons, and how you ended up at Betallic. So it's a lot, but we're looking forward to your story.
Well, I've been with Betallic for 17 years, which
Wow.
time flies when you're having fun.
It does.
So I hardly believe it, but I have absolutely loved working with Betallic. They, of course, it's Betallatex-Sempertex. Sempertex is the latex, and we partner with them in a big way. And Betallic has been around for a really long time. Love their foils, and I love the way the foils and the latex are made to go perfectly together. Our color palette is absolutely extraordinary. I think everybody agrees. And we are back in production like you would not believe post-pandemic. Ooh.
God,
But
that's great.
we are really supporting our people with product and continuing to come up with new things, which everybody loves. Have something special that we're going to be showing. In fact, you want a sneak peek
Yeah,
at Bling?
that was great.
You do.
Of course.
You can kind of see some of it behind me here,
Yeah.
but we have a brand new pastel matte Malibu peach.
Wow.
Every saying skin tones, on the twister side. And of course, on the decor side, these are gorgeous. This is a pastel matte, so it goes with the other pastel matte colors,
Yeah.
which is absolutely extraordinary. And so you're going to be able to get your hands on some of this, which is going to be great. I'm going to bring some. And how do you like the new size of the bags from Betallic?
Yeah. Very nice.
Twice as big. It's got the same amount of balloons in it as the original bags, but
Yeah.
we're trying to be really cautious and careful and take care of our industry with recycling. And of course, it's great because we have the bags that can be reused.
Yeah.
And here's my trip for you, or tip for you guys.
Yeah.
Anybody ever have to go try to get that thing? Okay, if you just slide it, it pops open. Boom. So you
Love
just
that.
kind of grip it right between the right here and push it. Nice little.
Yeah.
And then they pop open every single time, and then you can reseal.
Yeah.
So
wonderful.
I love that. And then our foil balloons, because we are going to be having some decorators, and I am teaching decorating classes.
We're a decorating events.
That's right. And so we have a whole new line of balloons that foil balloons that are made from, I love this, 40% recycled material from when the balloons are stamped out, there's fabric that's left. And so they are now making 40% of the new balloons are made with that recycled material.
Wow.
So we're really being conscious about taking care of our industry in the world, which is
Very
nice.
That's exciting. That's exciting. Jan, I love all this, but I wanted them to also know about you. How did you get started in the balloon world? Before Betallic, how did you got your own company? I don't even know your own company. I know that before that you had taught for Qualitex. I know that with the CBA and all that, and Kerwin, I think too. I'm not really sure. But how did you get started in the balloon business so people can know you as well? And we'll get back to Betallic as well, which I love.
Thank you. Well, in the 80s, I had my youngest daughter, and I really just wasn't quite ready to go back to work full time. I really wanted to spend some time. She wasn't even quite a year old, and I was telling my husband, maybe some little something from home. And I've always been a creative person. Did
we can tell you're amazing
for my older daughter. And so, I said, I saw this thing on Donahue, which was an old show that, interviewed people and businesses and all
Yeah.
kinds of different things socially. And there was a woman who came on, they were talking about entrepreneurs, and there was a woman who came on, walked down the aisle with this amazing, it was like big 18-inch latex balloons on beautiful long ribbons. And it was just this magnificent, tall, big bouquet walking down the aisle toward Donahue with these gorgeous ribbons that were trailing, down the aisle.
Yeah.
And Balloons Over Boston was the name of the company.
Oh, wow. In my area. Yep.
There were very, very few balloon companies. And so I told my husband, I said, that might be a really cool thing. And he said, I don't know. He said, maybe if you did kids' parties too, because you do great parties, for our girl. And he said, maybe that would be good. Well, so I started both. And oh my gosh, within 3 months, I had to start hiring employees. I had to buy another van. And I went, okay, I'm done with the parties because I am staying so busy with decor that I can't do both. And so I did that for a period, and my neighbors were starting to complain because it was a home-based business. Thank God my mom was there to help with the baby. And they were going, why do you have all these cars around, your place? This is kind of weird. And I said, we need to get a storefront. So I did. And all the employees came with, my neighbors were relieved. And we had that business for about 4 years. And we started dabbling in wholesale, sold the business to a company, to someone who ran that company, the decor business. And we focused on wholesale. An American Balloon Factory, which is right here in Kansas City area, still operating. We sold it in 2000.
That was yours?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so loved the company. It was a friendly competitor, David Hayes, who is with Midwest Balloon and Party, one of our full line distributors. And of course, that encompasses American Balloon Factory too. And when I sold that, I'd actually started teaching when I was a decorator. And man, I'm telling you, I absolutely loved it. Just loved it. I have friends that go all the way back then. Marjorie Burchette and I taught together and have been fast friends ever since. Marjorie, of course, is with High Float. And, and so
they'll be at Bling Bling Jam.
Yes. And so we sold it in 2000, but my husband said, I think I'm done with balloons. And I said, I'm not.
Right.
And so
thank God.
Worked with Conwin for a while, but then Betallic snapped me up.
Quality,
which is now, of course, Conwin Premium.
Right.
And so Betallic made me an offer. I got my hands on Sempertex latex and went, yes, I definitely want to work for this company. And I've been thrilled every single day with the responsibilities that I have here.
Wow. Awesome. Well, that's a great story. I didn't know all that. So thank you for sharing that. Amazing. And Betallic's lucky to have you. And we're lucky to have you at Bling Bling Jam because of all of your knowledge. We love your business tips and tricks because we find as attendees and feedback, right, is balloons are great. You can build all these, wonderful things like the big build. They're all wonderful. Nothing against it. But when it comes to hands-on selling things, you bring a practicality to the table that I think is so on point in terms of your knowledge of knowing what's going to sell. Because at the end of the day, if we make money, we buy more balloons and vice versa. And I think you have that down to a science. Can you share any of those things with you, like where that comes from? Like I'm assuming, but I don't want to take your words out of your mouth. It's because you were in the business as well, and you know the business, of course, which is kind of. But anything I was going to add to that I may not know. Oh, we have a visitor behind you. Very nice.
Oh,
your kitty cat. Yeah, I love them. Awesome.
And she loves balloons.
Yes.
I have my bags away from her because she gets them out and plays with inflated balloons. She doesn't like the inflated ones.
Love it. Love it.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. we had a couple other visitors of the other interviews. We love it. So what would you say about where your brilliance is and the bBrilliance and or whatever else you're doing with that now in terms of giving the people the information of how to make money with these
Mhm.
tips? I mean, there's so many different tips on so many levels. There's tips of doing things quicker, tips of just knowing what's going on, and how you bring that to the table. Because again, you were in the industry, you saw in the industry, you're very knowledgeable, is
Mhm.
what we all know and we see. So anything else you want to add to that? I know it's hard to talk about yourself. I'm not trying to uh make you pow yourself or whatever, but seriously, like where that, because it's really good information and it's so useful and we so appreciate it. You're when you represent Betallic, you're not trying to just sell us the balloons, you're actually giving us good things to help us, is how we see it. That's the fee. So anything else you want to add to that, or maybe I said it all, I don't know.
Well, that is my intention,
Yeah,
is to do things that are faster, easier, clever. Um,
yeah,
one of my favorite things to do, and I don't do it often, but socially, is if you're with a group, maybe you're having, um, hors d'oeuvres or something like that, or you're just sitting around talking. And one of my favorite things, whether I know somebody really well or not, and again, I don't do it often, but I just love asking a question of the people. If you've got maybe 4 or 5 people
yeah,
there, what is your gift? And it's so interesting. Some people just boom, they got it. Some people, oh, they're a little shy. They don't want to
yeah,
tell you what they think. And sometimes I can even guess, if they're a little bit, oh, I just don't know. I don't, I go, I think I do know, and it's really a great fun reaction. And sometimes they will ask me, so what's your gift? And it is, I'm creative and I'm resourceful. And we've all been in it, and I am creative, pat me on the back,
yeah, you are.
but more than more than anything, we've all been in situations where you go, oh my gosh, I thought I had a full bag of this color. It's only half full, okay? And I've got this decorating job. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
And I love figuring out something. And sometimes it's even better than what I had planned in the first place. So I think that's what I offer is, hey, there's
Yeah.
more than a way to create something. And sometimes it turns out even better. And then those funny little, those funny, just like, okay, that's a tiny one, but that bag reef like this to open it instead of
Yo,
this.
that's a great tidbit.
Well, I've got a lot of experience, so some of those little tips come just from
Yeah.
learning something,
Yeah.
because I've
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. There's a few things that I'm going to share with you too and everybody else that I got out of some of the things that you've done that you
ooh,
might have another comment about. You just made me think of three things. Uh,
ah,
yeah. So I don't know if this was the situation of what you just said, if you didn't have the balloons, but it was brilliant on a B
mhm,
brilliance.
mm,
When you did the
mhm,
safari one and you had the different prints, and they were all like, usually I think they would match. You had them all mixed matched, and it was really awesome. And I remember
mhm,
that distinctly because I was like, oh, wow, this is cool because it's like thinking out of the box and a little more unique. So I don't know if that was one of those situations, but it was really
mhm,
good. And then you taught as well. There was an air, a balloon that you took like some kind of straws and then you wrapped around it, of course, as the decorator ribbon. And I took that concept and put that into a twisted hat for a strawberry
mhm,
festival, and it was amazing. So that was a great little tidbits that you added on. And then I remember you did a class for us on our virtual on deliveries during the Christmas season. One was the elf on the shelf, and there was another thing too. And you added in some twisting element to it, so it's good for
mhm,
deco twisters or twisters specifically. And it was
yeah,
brilliant because it was air-filled things we could use
yeah,
them money with. And I
yeah,
was like, this is really good information.
mhm,
So I don't know if there's anything else you want to add to that, but for me, that's what I used it for, and I was like, wow, I love these practicality
mhm.
tidbits, as it really does help us on so many levels. And a lot of people were talking about anything else you want to add to that, or I might have said
Well,
it all.
yeah,
So
no, yeah, you made a point talking about, and you and I have known each other a long time,
yes,
and you've seen me teach.
yes,
And what I is sometimes, something that I taught, a technique, I'm going, wait a minute, and making a change to elevate it just a little bit.
Yeah.
And we're talking about wrapping, one of my years, and then actually we have, in the tips and tutorials, you'll see this maybe 2 or 3 times. I don't know, we have a lot of them that are available for people. But a 660 link balloon that has been inflated and then let the air out, and then this is like a half-inch conduit. You can, is it half-inch, 3/4 inch, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You actually slide that down over the top and then stretch, stretch, stretch. Instead of wrapping, instead you have one 660 link balloon that will go all the way down to 5 feet to cover that pole.
Yes.
And whatever color the designs are that you're going to be placing on that pole.
That's it.
And or like little wooden dowels that you're using for centerpiece structures. A 360 works exactly the same way. So
Right.
that's one of the things I do like about Betallic too, partnering with Sempertex the way we do, is that 360s are so long, and not only colorful and strong, but they are long.
Yes.
And so actually put a 360 using that same technique, inflating it so it's stretched a little. Snip off the neck is what you need to do. I should have said that.
Yeah.
And then pull it down and take that neck and wrap it around the base. And so again, for centerpieces, it's always tricky trying to cover the framework.
Yeah.
And doing it with a single balloon saves you money. And that's one of my favorite things to do for students is help.
That is brilliant again. And we appreciate that. That's great stuff. Wow. And of course, go ahead.
Real quickly. You and I talked not long ago about brilliant tips and the B-Design tutorials and our Instagram. And we made a little tiny shift. And I think it's an important one today. When the pandemic, we had been doing for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, the bBrilliant tips, which are these small, snappy things that just help you all day, but maybe you haven't thought of. And show some balloon designs and that kind of thing with them. Excuse me. And so when the pandemic hit, we said, oh my gosh, the tips are great, we're going to continue, but we need to kick it up because we're not out doing live education. And people are hungry. And balloon business was unbelievable during the pandemic. People were busy. They got creative, yard art. They were doing all kinds of interesting things, aside from being able to go in and be around, 100 people in an event. And so it was amazing that our industry has stayed so incredibly strong, even in the face of, some production that, as I said, has returned. But what we found was that we just really needed to add a little more to that time when people were stuck at home. And so that's when we came up with the B-Design tutorials. Excuse me. And so they're longer and, lots and lots and lots of steps, not just tips. But now that it's over and we're all so busy back at work, we are feeling that it's much more important. I'm the first one when I'm online looking at something, that I want to learn. And if it's too long, I'm going, what else you got? And I'm clicking on. Well, we knew that would happen too with tutorials. And so the longer one. And so what we're doing is we're doing much, much, much more Instagram. And we're continuing with the bBrilliant tips on YouTube.
Oh, perfect.
And yes, so you get both, but we're not doing quite as many of the YouTubes that are longer. And we're really focusing, and what we're doing is in Reels, you can see every step that's on Instagram that we're on the tutorials. So we're still doing both.
Yeah, smart. Thank you for sharing that. And we're excited about that. And also excited about, all the newness too. It's going to be great. I know that Gabby and Mateo, looking forward to meeting them.
Yes.
I know Mateo, but Gabby I haven't met yet. And then Andrea, I know Andrea's going to be coming by, and we met her once before. Excited to meet her or see her again, I should say, and all the great things Betallic's doing. This is great. anything else you want to share about you that we missed about your balloon career, or we want to get back to anything with Betallic? I did want to ask you a question about the colors, but did I miss anything, or did we miss anything
Well,
about?
you
Yeah,
mentioned you mentioned some people that I work with
yeah,
closely,
yeah,
and that Gabby Gonzalez, who
yes,
is head of marketing, and man,
yes,
she is killing it. You
yes,
know, she brought an amazing amount of experience because she's from Los Angeles, and Gabby's Balloons is
her,
Mama Gabby.
her mom, she knows the industry. I understand. Yeah,
Exactly. So she knows decorating, she knows balloons,
yeah,
and she knows marketing. And so we're so lucky to have her in
yes,
this important position. And
yes,
Mateo experience, he worked for a competitor, but
yes,
he's been to so many events and done such an excellent job. And both people are bilingual, which is important because there's a
yeah,
huge growth in the Hispanic community um, for people that have taken up our industry. And
yeah.
so, and Mateo is
Hub parties.
absolutely
Yeah,
light to work with. Both of them are. And of course,
yeah,
Andrew is the vice president of sales at Betallic now.
yes.
So been around 1 year less than me.
Oh, I
And
didn't know
so,
that. Oh, wonderful.
yeah. And so
Yeah,
we have an amazing crew. The owners of the business, it's a family owned
yeah,
business. And they've been involved with us um, for a long time. And I'm telling you, they bring so much to the table. We've made big changes that are today,
yeah,
not 10 years ago.
yeah,
So it's really a thrill for me to be able to be working
yeah.
in that type of business.
Oh, for sure. I think it's amazing. It's funny, speaking about the owners, I never met them, but I know that one of my friends, Michael Gearloff, lives in St. Louis, and he did a party for them, and he said they were amazing to work
Yes.
with. And he said they loved him and he loved them, and they hired
Yeah.
him. He was just, and he uses Betallic, and he was just thrilled. He said they
Yeah.
were just great people.
In fact, Barry Albright was at Balloonathon that was just held in LA. And of course,
Oh,
the
wow.
next, oh my gosh, that was such an amazing event. It was
Yeah,
incredible. Nothing like it. Nothing like it. I'm
yeah,
telling you, I'm sure if you look online, you can see what the people said that came. So
yeah,
anybody that missed out on the one that's coming up in Dallas next and the one beyond that, there's a little space in between each one. You can find it on Betallic's website, betallic.com. Um, the next one will be in New Jersey. It's New Jersey, but slash New York.
yeah.
So they're big, and it's amazing array of teachers. There were 4 teachers at the first one,
Yeah.
and they were all from the East Coast coming into the West Coast.
Oh, that's
And
neat.
yeah, and
Mixed up.
it's going to be that same thing. We're not bringing in people, that maybe are not bringing in something quite as new as somebody who's across the country from you.
It
So it's amazing.
mixes it up a bit with the teaching. I know
Yeah.
that that's so true. Oh, I love that. That's well thought through. Yeah, I
One
saw,
of
oh, go ahead.
one of the people that was at this one in Los Angeles, she said, "I'm signing up for Dallas." She said it's going to
Oh,
be
great.
just quality and amazing, and she said, and it's going to be all completely different.
Yeah.
So she's going to be there. I'm definitely going to be there. She said
Oh,
it's
that's awesome.
her
That's
entire,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. I
So
was saying I saw Mateo's Instagram on it. It looks great.
yeah.
And what he's doing. Um, the gal that won the registration, you guys were awesome to sponsor somebody. She's super excited. She said she was at the event and she loved it. And she's super excited to win the registration and come, because of you guys. So thank you for that. What was also interesting was Gabby told me there was over 300 plus people that tried to get the registration of Bling Bling Jam. So amazing. And most of them were decorators. We're trying to get a deco twisting. We're the only
Mhm.
deco twisting event out there. So it's kind of neat that we say we are, as of right now. So that was good feedback too. So again, hats off to you guys, and also with Bling Bling. And it's exciting, and we love working with you guys.
Mhm.
And also All American will be at Bling Bling Jam, and she is our full line distributor at Bling Bling Jam. We have other sponsors too, like I Live Near Rainbow Balloons. They're
Yeah,
wonderful. But she does a great job with Betallic, and always temperature controls her balloons, which I know after you guys sell it to a distributor, you don't know what they do. Obviously, it's not in your control, and nothing against anybody, but she does do that. She's really cautious and she really cares about the industry and loves Betallic and loves working with you guys. A big reason why I use the product is because of her.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. So we're excited. And Betallic will be sold at Bling Bling Jam through All American Balloons right there in person, which is
Yes.
good.
Colors. She asked me what what did I order to be able to teach my classes
Oh,
with?
good. Yeah.
I said all this because she said I'm gonna stock up, on Sempertex that's being
Yeah.
shown there, which is good.
Yeah.
You get an idea and you want to react right away.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, did I cover everything about you? I want to talk about your classes now and about why you're excited about Blooming Jump. But did I miss anything before we about you
Oh,
or
we're good. I think we're
okay.
good.
Okay. Let's talk about you come in, what you're teaching, why you're excited to be at Bling Bling Jam, and then I have a few other questions with Betallic, and we'll wrap it up. So,
Okay.
but yeah, what will you be teaching this year at the Bling Bling Jam?
Well, I have two classes. They're decor classes, and we're
Yeah.
going to be teaching a class that is. Let me say this too before I get started about the titles. One of the things that I really enjoy teaching at Bling Bling is that we have twisters there who
Yeah.
are always happy to add twister accents to designs that I present. And I like to give them the opportunity to do that because, oh,
Yeah.
hey, I do a pinch twist, okay? I'm not, I can now do a 6-petal flower. I haven't mastered a 7-petal flower, but if I get in there, I can practice with some of the people that are here and they'll put me right onto it.
Yes.
But what I am teaching is air-filled designs in one of the classes. And that is such a perfect opportunity for of course, decorators, who love to save money. Not that helium isn't important and perhaps a little more available today, but sometimes you want mostly air and a little touch of helium today. And so it's really fun for air-filled designs that appeal to decorators, but that also twisters are going, I don't have to have expensive equipment. I can recreate this pretty easily and add my own touches. And I think a perfect example of that is Carolyn Heyman. Carolyn, of
She's great.
course, was just twister extraordinaire.
Yeah.
And then she began to kind of play with air-filled and the costumes,
Yeah.
in particular, but everything that she does, centerpieces, delivery pieces, and she was just a pure twister.
I
But
remember. Yeah.
she's in everything now, everything,
Yeah.
kind of a balloon artist. And then I'm also teaching a centerpiece class, and that's one that I think will appeal the very most to decorators. I love centerpiece work. I love it. It's really important to follow the principles and elements of design so that people don't move the centerpiece off the table and put it on the floor. I mean, that makes a terrible statement about a decorator that isn't able to create something that's beautiful and interesting that is guest friendly.
Yeah.
There's two kind of centerpieces. One is a buffet piece, and that you can have that as big and blocky as you want. But table centerpieces, there's certain rules. We're going to go over those in my class, and I'm going to recreate some of my favorites and some new centerpieces that people can take home and recreate inexpensively. That's another thing, is inexpensive elements are important. Certainly you can pick
Ah,
it up, use a lot of things, but they cost a lot of money, and there's alternatives, and that's what I'm going to be sharing.
yeah. Oh, it's so good. And I work closely with Sharon and Blanca, and they obviously are
Yes,
using
love
the
both.
product, yes, in their class, and they're also using for the backdrop. They love Betallic, and
Mhm.
they're seasoned decorators, as you know.
Yeah.
And I show them and they're, oh my God, so excited about your classes. But we so missed you last year, so we're so happy to have you back. And I had people registered just saying as you were coming, and they're just so thrilled about that. And they said the centerpiece stuff is just so on point. That's what they wanted. So I'm thrilled about that. And of course, Blanca, we represent, I said the Hispanic people, we have a lot of Hispanics, and of course,
Yeah.
Sharon is Afro-American community. We have a lot of people coming, great mix at Bling Bling Jam, and they everybody loves you, Jan, and it just
Aw.
such a good element to our event. I can't even tell you. But speaking about communities, I wanted to mention that too. Um, okay, and then you'll be around hanging out as well and answering questions in the jam room and all that like you normally do. And then I know we have CJ coming and he did his interview. And excited to have him teaching as a twister. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add to that, or Mateo, or anything else, because Mateo will be with us.
Yes, Mateo will be with us. CJ is
Yeah.
amazing. My gosh, what an amazing fellow. He is he is creative and he's one of the nicest people I've ever met. And he's a terrific teacher. And we are absolutely thrilled to
Yeah,
have CJ,
I am
who's going to
too.
be representing us
Yeah,
using latex.
yeah.
So yeah,
And I'll
we're
tell
excited.
you, all my teachers, I got everything instantly. I'm like, oh my God, thank God, so far. So it's been great. It's been
Good.
great. It's always good to work with people that are professional and just get it. So it's wonderful. Great. I want to circle back to a question I had about the balloons that we started talking about, the new color. So I do see now, I'm assuming, as I'm looking at your balloons behind you, I'm assuming that was the color that you showed. 5 inch, the 260s, is that coming in 160s and 350s as well to match all
Uh,
that?
right now, 260s. If you
Yeah,
guys, there's something to keep in mind. It's nice when everything rolls out all at
yeah.
once,
I
but
know.
it's
I know.
so nice if we know you love it and are going to
Okay.
buy.
So we'll
And
have
so,
those that bling to play with anyway and see.
yes, exactly.
Okay.
Many times it starts out with like a 5 inch, 11 inch. At one time, it wasn't the 18 inch. It was, the 24s, but now pretty much they always come out with the 18. They pretty much always come out with the 260.
Yeah.
And they pretty much now are coming out with Linkaloon. And so, and
Oh,
there's two.
great.
So if you guys say, yes, this is a color
Yeah.
we want, to make sure that that it's available in all sizes and all colors, buy
Oh,
it.
great.
And that's what signals to us this is a winner. And then we're happy to support colors and sizes, and bring out new for people. Keep an eye out. You never know what else might be on the horizon, guys.
Yeah.
There's always something new.
Sure. So people can ask you or suggest to you or Mateo or Andrea about
Mhm.
what they're looking for, and you guys actually listen. I know you do,
Yeah.
which is great. Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. Another question. This might not be a question for you. It might be a Mateo question. I don't know. I know like either the supplies or whatever, we didn't have a lot of prints last year in the jam room. Do you think that we're gonna have a lot of prints this year? Or are they back and or things that 5 inches? I don't know what you guys have or and hearts and things like that. Or is that it might be a Mateo question. I totally get it. So I don't know
Mhm.
who's hosting the jam room, but I know people asked and they were looking for it last year.
Right. We have a massive collection of sizes and colors and types, Linkaloon rounds, 60s, our whole 60 series. And we have so many that it's truly impossible
I
in
know.
a jam to bring all of it.
I know.
Uh, what we try to do is bring samples of all the new things. And when I say samples, I'm talking about product that goes into the jam boxes,
Yeah.
and the things that everybody, the staples, and then some fun things to play with.
Yeah.
And so I have not seen the list. It was not me that put that together.
I thought it was
Uh,
Mateo. Yeah.
I was not there last year, so we
Yeah.
didn't want to
I
somebody,
know we missed you.
who,
Yeah,
it's 2 years now.
of course.
And so, but they're very focused. We're really making a big effort to take care of our twisters. I
Oh,
think a
good.
lot of people have felt like, oh, you know, they like decorators better, which is not, it's not true.
Yeah.
Uh, but truly, as a business, decorators will buy 10 bags of 100 each,
Yeah.
and twisters are so clever, they can make less look like, something magical. And so
Yeah.
it is true that decorators buy more, but we value our twisters too. That's an important part of
Oh, thank you
Betallic.
for saying that. Yes.
And so we really are trying to make sure that we feed you with new things and that we supply you with sizes. We listen, we really do listen.
Yeah.
And, um, and when you make suggestions, more than one person says it, we start listening and putting it on our list
Yeah.
to go, hey,
Yeah.
let's look at Sempertex, color palette and sizes that are available, and make sure that we're addressing the needs for everyone.
For sure. Being a producer of the convention, people come to me with so many questions. They think I know the answers to everything, and I don't. That's why I ask. And because of the the lack of the prints from a competitor or whatever it is, people really ask about prints more than ever. And they're like, last year we didn't have this one. I'm like, we're getting them. So that's why I ask those questions. But we love your products, and whatever we have, it's awesome. And so looking forward to the jam room and your classes and CJ's classes, and seeing Mateo and Andrea,
Yes.
and of course, All American Balloons. Was there anything else we missed out on this call that you want to add on, or anything else that you'll be at the event the whole time, is what I understand, Sunday
Yeah.
through. Yep. And why do you think you've been to our event before? It's the only deco twisting event. Why do you think people, in your humble opinion, should come to the Bling Bling Jam? I guess, and and anything else you want to add on to that?
Well, obviously, we've talked about the creativity that is there for twisters and decorators. But
Yeah.
one of the things that I consistently hear about Bling Bling Jam is there is a camaraderie, there is a feeling of family, and that's a personal experience with people. They are incredibly sharing, and it's a real treat to know that they're not just coming, for I'm going to learn how to do something new in line work, but I'm going to meet my friends. And, I exchanged this with them last year and I've been using it ever since. And so I'm going to give them my best kept secret, a twister sculpture. So it's very giving and back and forth. Very, as I said, camaraderie is the best word I can think of.
Yeah.
Um, for the experience.
Yeah.
So
Thank you so much for saying that. And I'm glad that you experienced that too. And we so appreciate you and Betallic. You're very much part of that. And of course, at Bling Bling, a lot of our folks that come, not everybody, but a lot of our folks are full time or trying to be full time. So they're real deco twisters. And that's why we so appreciate everything Betallic does, what you focus on, and
thanks.
how you focus on industry. We value our relationship and you. And we're so excited to have you, Jan, back this year. And it's not just by anything, it's by popular demand. That's what I'm saying. So it's great. Awesome. Well, is there anything else we missed out? Did we get it all?
Just other than I am
Yeah.
going to be so excited to see some of the people that I haven't seen for a couple of
Yes.
years who will be at the event. Very excited. And I always learn something myself every time, every time. So I'll look forward to collaborating and that camaraderie that I was talking about.
Yes, and we're so excited to have you there as well. So looking forward to seeing you, Jan. Thank you
Thank
so much, Jan. We so appreciate you and Betallic with everything you do. And guys, again, this is on my YouTube station. Do us a favor and please show Jan some love, okay? And put a
you.
thumbs up and a comment. She'd love to see that. And anything else that you want to add on, we want to hear about it. And again, if you're listening to this, we are getting close to that time. Again, we can still fit in a little bit more, but we don't want to sell out either because a lot of people are coming. We're excited. And if not, you'll see the residual of this for next year, or you can still register for the virtual replays as well. And we're doing our best to tape the decor classes, not all guaranteed because they're longer classes, as we always say. But we do have somebody on staff to do that. And if not anything else, we'll see everybody at Bling Bling Jam, and let's bling it on and bling it on with Betallic. And we're so excited. Thank you so much, Jan. Great talking to you. And thank you for,
Bye.
bye-bye.
See you soon.
See you soon.